Hi, welcome to Rameshsoft video tutorials. In this video tutorial, we will talk about looping statements in Java. Suppose, just see here, I want to execute the statements, I want to print hello on the console 10 times. So basically what we'll do generally, so we'll take one class and then we'll write 10 times what? System.out.println or not? Yes. Now see here, let me write it, new class. So I'm taking sample test. Now I am writing main method. Now basically what we'll do, SYSOM of something I am writing hello. Yes. Now Control C, Control V. Yes. Now what happens? If I run this program, I can see 10 times output on the console or not? Yes. Now see here, so I am getting 10 times output on the console or not? Yes. There what I am doing, the same statement I am executing multiple number of times or not? Yes. So whenever you want to execute, if you want to execute one statement multiple number of times, then go for what? Loop. That is, looping statements are used to execute multiple number of times. So by using looping statements, we can execute the statements continuously and repeatedly. So then go for what? Looping statements, right? Now, so looping statements are used to execute or iterate a part of the program several times. To do that, we are having three kinds of loops in Java. First one is while loop, and second one is do while, and third one is for loop. So again this for loop is categorized into three loops. So number one is under this A is, first one is simple for loop that we are going to use very regularly, and second one is enhanced for loop, this also we can call as a for each loop, very important, for each loop. And third one is labeled for loop. By using this we can define the names for the looping as well. We'll see one by one, we'll talk. Right now, to iterate the statements, to print the values continuously and repeatedly, to execute the statements continuously and repeatedly, we are having three loops. One is while, do while, and for. So when do we go for while loop? When do we go for do while? When do we go for loop? Means when do we go for while? Means if you don't know the number of iterations, suppose we don't know how many times you want to execute the statements. If you don't know the number of iterations in advance, how many times you want to execute the statements, then go for what? While loop. So when do we go for loop? If you know the number of iterations advance, I know how many times I want to execute these statements, then go for loop. Suppose if you want to execute the statement irrespective of the things, I want to execute the statements one time, whether my condition is true or false. So when you have such kind of requirement, go for what? Do while. Let's go with one by one. First we'll go with the while loop, right? Now see here. So when do we go for while? If we don't know the number of iterations in advance, then go for while. I don't know how many times I want to execute the statements, then go for what? While. Now, how to define the while? See the syntax. How to define the while? See here how I'm defining the syntax. So while, just see here. So initialization section, and then while I'm writing here condition, some statements, and then increment or decrement, and then close the for loop, and then normal statements. These are we can call as a what? Normal statements. Now see here what I'm doing. Now see here. So initialization section, right? This is mandatory. While is a keyword which indicates it is a while. So in while, always the condition should be boolean, that is either true or false. So if we are specifying other than that condition, if you are specifying other than that boolean, we will get compiled an error. So if the condition is true, then while loop is going to be executed followed by normal statements. So if the condition is false, then while loop is not going to be executed, only normal statements are going to be executed. And remember one more point, in while once the condition is true, then this loop body is going to be executed until this condition is become false, right? And as like control statements, that is selection statements, for while also curly braces are optional. Without curly braces we can take only one statement, that should be of type executable statement, but not declarative statements. So if you try to take declarative statements, we will get compile time error. Let me explain with one example so that we will get the clarity. Now see here what I am doing. Now see here, so let me take one initialization variable int I is equal to 1. So my start the iteration from where? 1. Now I am writing while I am specifying execute this one until this how many times? 10 times. Now I am printing syso of I plus I am writing here hello. Just observe here what I am doing. Now see here, yes. Now see here what happens. Now see here. So I specified initialization and then I specified the condition, how many times I want to execute it. Now am I specified any increment and decrement section? No. Now see here, now I am specifying I plus plus is nothing but what? I is equal to I plus 1. So already I told in the previous videos, whenever we are using is equal to assignment operator, whatever is there on right hand side, that will become value, and whatever is there on left hand side, it will become variable. Whatever is there on left hand side, always it will be assigned to the what? Right hand side, right? Yes. Now see here, let me run this program. Run as Java application. Let's see here. So see here, how many times it is executing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 times or not? Yes, sir. If we don't write increment and decrement section, right? Now see here, first let me explain the flow. First I is first where JVM will come? Main method. Now I is having what is the value? 1. 1 less than or equal to 10. True or false? True. So I said for while always the condition should be what? Boolean, that is either true or false, right? Now once the condition is true, this while loop is going to be executed until the condition is become false, right? Now let me write here one statement syso of out of while loop, right? Now see here, so first JVM it will come to main method, and then here I am having I is equal to what is the value? 1. 1 less than or equal to 10, true or false? Yes, sir. If it is true, once the while condition is true, this while loop is going to be executed until the condition is become false. Now 1 less than or equal to 10, true. So what is the output I am going to get it? 1 hello, and then what is there? I plus plus. Now I values become what? 2. 2 less than or equal to 10, true or false? Yes, it is true. It is going to be executed, and then what is the value I am having? 3. 3 less than or equal to 10, true or false? Yes, sir. So this loop body is going to be executed how many times? 10 times. Now I value is now 11. 11 less than or equal to 10, true or false? Now it is what? False. It won't execute while loop. Simply it will execute what is the statement? It comes out of the loop. That is, once the while condition is true, it will be executed until this condition is become false, right? Now see here, right click, run as Java application. Now see here, 10 times the executing or not? Yes. And then what is that? Out of while loop, right? Now see here, if I don't write I plus plus, now see here what happens? I is equal to what is the value? 1. 1 less than or equal to 10, true or false? Yes, it is true. Now what happens? While loop is going to be executed. Now what is that? System.out.println of 1 hello. As we know that once the while condition is true, this one is going to be executed until this condition is become what? False. So 1 less than or equal to 10, true. Again go back, 1 less than or equal to 10, 1 less than or equal to 10, 1 less than or equal to 1 less than or equal to infinite number of times. That's why compulsory we should specify what is that? I plus plus. Now see if I run this, what happens? It's going to be execute, keep on, it's going to be execute. See here, 1 hello, because always the condition is become what? True. That's why increment and decrement section is what? Mandatory, right? So we know that curly braces are mandatory or optional? Optional. Without curly braces we can take only one statement, that should be of type what? Executable statement, right? Now This is about what? While loop. Now see here, can you people tell me, in while without condition checking, are we able to execute this while loop? We cannot. If the condition is true, then only it is executing what? While loop, right? So without checking the condition in while, we cannot execute the loop body, that is while loop body. Now my requirement is, without checking the condition, I want to execute the piece of code. So when do we go for do while? Whenever you want to execute the statements without checking the condition, then go for what? Do while. Now say, let me write the syntax. Now do while. Now see here what I am doing. Do open brace, some statements, close this, and then I am writing while condition, close it, right? And compulsory we should do what? Increment and decrement section, don't forget that. And then something I missed out wantedly. What is that? Initialization section. Are you getting right? Yes, initialization section, it is mandatory, right? Yes, same thing here in do while. What happens means, without checking the condition, it will execute the what? Loop body, and then it checks the what? Condition. Whereas in while, first it checks the condition. If the condition is true, then only while loop body is going to be executed. When it comes to do while, without checking the condition, one time it is going to execute the while body. If the condition is true, then it will execute the loop body until the condition is become false. That is, in do while, whether the condition is true or false, minimum we can give the guarantee for a one time execution, right? Now let me see here. So here also always the condition should be what? Boolean. So curly braces are mandatory or optional? Optional. Without curly braces we can take only one statement. Now see here, let me take one example. New class do while test. Now see here what I am doing. Let me take the main method and see here what I am doing. First give the initialization section, int I is equal to 0. Now then write what? Do. Now I am writing syso of, I am writing I plus, now I am writing I plus. Now see here what I am doing. I plus, just I am printing some statements, hello. Now see here what I am doing. Then while, what is our condition? I less than or equal to 10. Less than or equal to 10. I said right, increment and decrement section is what? Mandatory. I plus plus. Now see here what happens. So first it will come to main method. If I trigger this, I is equal to 1. So first it is executing what? Loop body. First it is executing, right? So it is executing 1 hello and then I plus plus. So 2 less than or equal to 10, true or false? Yes, it is true. And then this loop body is going to be executed until the condition is become false. Now see here, right click, run as, right click, run as, what is that? Java application. Now see here, how many times it is executed? 10 times or not? Yes. Now see here, now if I make the condition as false, now see here, so even though my condition is false, first one time this loop body is going to be executed or not? Yes. And then if the condition is true, it will be executed continuously. If the condition is false, it won't execute. Now see here, in this case the condition is what? False. But still we can give the guarantee for do while loop execution minimum one time. Even though my condition is true or false, I can give the guarantee that my loop body is going to be executed one time in do while. But when it comes to while, if the condition is false, can we give the guarantee on loop execution? We cannot. Now see here my condition is what? False. Then never this loop body is going to be executed. Now see here, right click, run as Java application. Now see here, directly it is coming to where? Out of while loop. That is, in while, if the condition is true, then only loop body is going to be executed. In do while, irrespective of the condition, check, our loop body is going to be executed minimum one time. If the condition is false also, loop body is going to be executed one time. If the condition is true, depends on the condition, it is going to be executed number of times, right? Now, in while and do while, condition should be always what? Boolean. If we are specifying other than Boolean, we will get what? Compile time error. Now see here I am getting compile time error or not? Yes. It is of type what? Primitive. So it should be of type what? Boolean. Same in do while also the same thing. Compulsory this should be of type what? Boolean. If we are specifying other than that, we will get compile time error. Right? Yes. Now, third one. So, this regularly we are going to use it. What is that? For loop. So, basically, we have three types of for loops are there. Right? So, what is that for loop? First one. So, what is the first type? Simple for loop. Second one is enhanced for loop. Third one is labeled for loop. Let's go with simple for loop. So what is this simple for loop? Now see here. So now see here. What is the simple for loop? Now see here. So first let me write the syntax. When do we go for simple for loop? If we know the number of iterations in advance, then go for what? Then go for what? For loop. I know number of iterations. How many times I want to execute this? Then go for loop. Simple for loop. Simple for loop. Now see the syntax how we can define it. For initialization section, and then condition, and then increment or decrement, and then write what? Some statements, right? Now see here, this is one way. And second way of defining the syntax is if we want, we can do it in this way as well. This is the first approach, and second approach we can do it in this way as well. Now if you want, we can define initialization section here also. It is also valid. Now third syntax without initialization section, without condition, without increment and decrement also valid, but it always leads to infinite number of times this loop is going to be executed, right? Now see here, this is not required, just give semicolon and close it. Now it is perfectly valid. Next one. Now fourth way, this is also valid. Now see here what I am doing. Now initialization section. Now I am not defining any condition. Now see here, if we don't write any condition in for loop, by default it will be what? True. So here I am specifying any condition? No. So by default this condition is become what? True in the for loop, right? Yes. Now see here, let me take a sample example, nothing great to explain here. Now same in for loop also, compulsory the condition should be either true or false, that is Boolean. And for loop also curly braces are mandatory. Curly braces are not mandatory. Without taking curly braces, we can take only one statement that should be of type executable statement, but not declarative. Let me create one class. Class for loop test. Now see here what I am doing. Take main method. Now I am taking for loop for int I is equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. I want to execute the statements 10 times. Now see here, SYSO of I, right? So if the condition is true, then this for loop is going to be executed, right? Explain the execution flow here once. So I is equal to what initially? 0, 0 less than or equal to 10, true. If it is true, then this loop body is going to be executed. Once it is executed again, it will come back. Now what is the value? 1. 1 less than 10. True or false? True. Again this for loop is going to be executed. Now again this value is become what? 2. 2 less than 10. Yes sir. This for loop is going to be executed, and then 3 until this loop is going to be executed 10 less than 10 now. Now the condition is false. Simply it comes where? Out of this for loop. So first initialization section, and then condition, and then statement, and then increment decrement, and then condition, and then statements, and then increment decrement, and then condition, and then statement. So this is the way execution is going to happens in the for loop, right? This is a simple for loop, and we have one more, right? What is that? Enhanced for loop, right? So this is also called for each loop. For each loop, just see here. So we have different types of loops or not. This is called what? Enhanced for loop. So enhanced for loop is also called as a for each loop. So by using for each loop, we can iterate the values from arrays, or we can iterate the values from the collection framework, right? So it is very easier to use than simple for loop, because we are not required to write increment and decrement sections and conditions, etc. Nothing required to specify. Automatically for each loop is going to be take care. Now see here. So for each loop, let me write the syntax. So I will explain in the collection framework number of times we'll use it, iterators and for each loop, and 1.8 version for each loop as well, right? Yes. Now see the syntax. For a type some variable name from what is our source here, arrays or collection. If you want to iterate the values one by one from collection or arrays, then go for what? For each loop. So in the for each loop, do we require to specify any condition? Nothing. Do we require to specify any increment and decrement sections? Nothing to worry. Who is going to take care? Automatically your for each loop is going to be taken care. Don't worry about it, right? Yes. Now see here, let me write a sample program. Now see here what I am doing. So let me take I am creating one list object. List here I am adding of type string. So generic type I am doing it. So if you don't know about this, watch my collection framework videos. Array list. So I created array list object. So now it is generic type array list object, right? So I can add only string values. If you are trying to add other than string, we will get compile time error. Hello l.add of welcome to Rameshsoft. Now l.add of masters in real time training. Yes. Now see here. So now my list object is having 3 elements, 3 values. I want to iterate one by one. So now see here how I am writing for each loop. For what is the type? Source type string something. Yes. Where is your target? Where is your source? L or not? Yes. Now see here what I am doing. SYSO of, just to print what? Yes. Now see here, just right click, run as Java application. Anyhow, don't worry, I'll explain the collection framework as well, right? Now see here. So first one value will be copied, and then I'm printing. Second value will be copied, second value I'm printing, third value, and is there any fourth value? No, simply it comes where? Out of this for each loop. So by using for each loop, we can iterate the values from arrays or collections, right? So for each loop, by using for each loop, what is the advantage we can get it? Here in for each loop, we are not required to specify any condition and increment and decrement values. Automatically, implicitly your for each loop is going to be taken care. That you are not required to worry about it. Okay? Yes, this is about what? This is about for each loop in Java. Okay? Now see here, we will talk about now for each labeled for each, right? So what is labeled for each loop in Java? Okay, so by using labeled for each loops, we can give the names for a what? Each loop. That is, we can have name of each for loop. To give the name of for loop, we use what? Label. This for loops we can call as a Java labeled for loop. So whenever we are having nested for loops, and if you want to come out from specific loop using break or continue, we use what? This labeled for loops. Now see here what I am doing. Now just let me write inside this. I am writing just sorry. Let me take separate example. Yes. Now see here. So I am taking new class nested labeled loop test. See here, simple. We can have name for each for loop. Yes, to give the name of for loop we use label. These we can call it about Java labeled for loops. Whenever we are having nested for loops, and if you want to come out from a specific loops using break and continue, we can go for what? Label, that is by using names we can come out of it. Now see here, main. Now I am declaring two for loops. For int I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to 5, I less than or equal to 5, I plus plus. Now I am writing for int j is equal to 0, j less than or equal to 5, j plus plus. Now I am writing here, just after here. So this is outer for loop, this is inner for loop. I want to give name for it. Just write here what? See here what I am doing. I am giving this one as a L1 colon. Now it will become what? The outer loop name is become what? L1. Now here I am giving L2. Now inner for loop name is become what? L2. Right? Now see here what I am doing here. If I is equal to 2 and j is equal to 2. Now I am telling, writing what? Just I am writing break semicolon. Now see here what happens. Let me print these values. So SYSO of I dot plus j. Now see here, right click, run as Java application. Now see here what is output I am getting? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes or no? Yes. Now see here, normally it is happening, right? Now I want to break this inner loop. Now just give what? L2. Now see the output. What happens? Right click, run as Java application. Let's see the output. So 0, 0, 0, 1, yes, 1, 1, 1. Now see here, 2, 2, 2. Now see here what is happening. See here. So let me give some count as a 3. So that explanation is become a bit. Now see here. First is what is that? 0. 0 less than 3. True or false? Yes. And then it is coming inside for loop. Now 0, 0 less than 3. Yes, true. Now 0 is equal to and 0 is equal to no. It won't execute this statement. It will come to where 0 is going to be printed. So once the condition is true, always this inner loop is going to be executed until this condition is become false. Now what is the value? 1. So 0 is equal to 1 is equal to no. Again this one. Again this value is become what now? 2. 0 is equal to and 2 is equal to. Both should be 2, right? But only 1 is true. Again this loop is going to be executed how many times? 5 times. Again it is coming back. What is the value now? 1. So j is equal to what is the value? 0. 0 less than 3. True or false? Yes. Now I is having what is the value? 1. 1 is equal to and 0 is equal to na? No. This loop is going to be executed. Now it is 1. 1 is equal to 1 is equal to 2. No. False. Again this one is going to be executed. 1 is equal to 2 is equal to. Again this will be executed until 5 times. Now see here what is the value? 2. I is equal to what is the value? 2. Now. So j is equal to what is the value? 0. 0 less than 3. True or false? Yes. Now I is having what is the value? 2. 2 is equal to true and 0 is equal to false. This one is going to be executed. Now 2 is equal to and 1 is equal to no. This statement is going to be executed. Now what is the value? 2, right? 2 is equal to and j is also having what is the value? 2. 2 is equal to and what? 2 is equal to 2 means what I am telling? Break what? L2. Now simply it won't execute what? Third iteration, right? Yes. Now see here, right click, run as Java application. So see here, is it executing in second? No, it is executing only what? 0, 1 and it is skipping what? Second and third. So if you want to break outer loop, just simply write what? L1. That's it. Now see here, right click, run as Java application. Now see here, it is breaking outer loop or not? See here, it is executing only what? 0, 1, 2, 3 or not? Yes. So this is the way to work with what? Labeled for loops. Thanks for watching the video. Have a good day. Thank you so much.